To induct our very first individual this evening, we would like to welcome to the stage a fine musician in his own right, Mr. Bob Corritore.
First off, thank you to the Blues Foundation for providing this spectacular reflection point for this music that we all love. Big hand for the Blues Foundation, please. Well, before I begin, please turn your attention to the screen. We have a fantastic video.
Henry Gray, who played piano in the Howlin Wolf Band and several other Chicago blues groups before returning to his native Louisiana in 1968, has rarely been in the spotlight, but has steadily built an impressive resume entertaining audiences around the world with his blues-drenched piano pounding. Gray, born in 1925, is still performing regularly 6 decades after his first recording sessions in Chicago.
Henry is tough stuff indeed. The Chicago blues of the 1950s is considered golden by all blues lovers. Labels such as Chess, VJ, and Cobra led the way to producing some of the most memorable songs that the blues has ever known. That classic sound typically featured small combos with great singers, guitar, harmonica, and piano, all interweaving in an ensemble sound that was an ongoing interaction with all the pieces. Artists like Muddy Waters, Little Walter, Jimmy Rogers, Jimmy Reed, the Howlin Wolf, Elmore James, and Sonny Boy Williamson are among the heroes of Chicago blues, and the person being inducted today can brag of playing and/or recording with all of them. The Henry Gray story began in Kenner, Louisiana on January 19, 1925. At a young age, Henry's family moved to nearby Baton Rouge, and this music-rich area quickly influenced the young man, taking piano lessons from Mrs. White, the neighbor lady up the street. Henry soon found his calling with the blues. He began playing professionally in his teens, and later, while serving in World War II, Henry performed regularly in Army bands. After the war, Henry relocated to Chicago, where he came under the mentorship of piano legend Big Maceo. By the early 1950s, Henry was one of Chicago's most sought-after pianists and began extensive session work with top players. Billy Boy Arnold states that during that time period, Otis Spann and Henry Gray were the 2 top piano players in Chicago, with Henry being his preference. If you wanted a good sounding record, Billy Boy stated, you got Henry Gray. Sessions with Billy Boy, with Jimmy Rogers, Howlin Wolf, Jimmy Reed, Little Walter, Morris Peugeot, G.L. Crockett, and Dusty Brown all featured Henry's great piano work. Many of these songs were Chicago blues' most defining moments. Think Jimmy Rogers' Chicago Bound, or Out on the Road. Think about Howlin Wolf, I Ain't Superstitious, which is also being inducted as a song into the Hall of Fame. Meet Me in the Bottom by the Howlin Wolf. Look Out Mabel by G.L. Crockett. And Henry played on both Billy Boy Arnold's and Jimmy Reed's classic versions of I Ain't Got You. Henry also made a handful of great Chicago recordings as a leader, including a 1953 session for Chess. Henry's work in Chicago is legendary. In 1968, Henry would leave the Howlin Wolf Band to return home to Baton Rouge to look after his recently widowed mother. He immediately became an important part of that community, making records for Excello and Arhoolie Records. He expanded his role as a singer and band leader, finding great popularity in Europe. He began a long and fruitful run with bassist Andy Cornett, forming Henry Gray and the Cats. Henry has an annual and ongoing slot at the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival. His 1988 Blind Pig album, Lucky Man, further raised awareness of his classic blues sound. Over the years, Henry's been showered with great recognition, including a Grammy nomination, a fellowship to the National Endowment for the Arts, a Blues Blast Lifetime Achievement Award, and an induction into the Louisiana Music Hall of Fame. He was featured in Martin Scorsese's Year of the Blues series in the piano segment that was hosted by Clint Eastwood. And Mick Jagger called upon Henry, along with fellow Howlin Wolf band alumni, to perform at his 55th birthday party some years ago. In 1996, I began my ongoing professional collaboration with this great man, which has included touring, festival appearances, recording, and the extreme pleasure of his friendship. At age 92, Henry remains relevant, active, and vibrant. It is my honor, on behalf of the Blues Foundation, to welcome Mr. Henry Gray into the Blues Hall of Fame.
Sick, but I mean, I really had a heart attack in New Orleans last week. But I really enjoyed this, and like you see, I don't play this way everywhere all around the world. You name it, with everybody. Howlin Wolf, 14 years I played with him. Jimmy Reed, Elmo James. I could go name them for how long. Because I played just about everybody in Chicago. Because I lived there 40 years. So I really enjoy this. So I've been a little out because I had a stroke. But I'm doing better. But for my age now, a stroke, I don't know how I need it. Right now I'm 92. Yeah, I'm 92, but my wife is 58. She takes care of the old boy. All right.
Congratulations, Henry.